because Left got, ODB got to tell you way more stuff.
Mm.
That's why he was saying they trying to kill me. They said who? He said Bush and the niggas. Did you
Wow.
go there? He's telling you what I just posted this because people kept asking me for the receipt, so I just went on the post on my Instagram page where he was explaining the song "Shame on a Nigga." We're trying to run game on a nigga, and he was telling us, right? But the rest of the Wu Tang know how this government is,
Mm.
so they don't want him to go and say too much too fast and put everybody in danger. Then they can't get all of the messages out,
Mm.
right? So we use that's Mississippian culture, by the way. That's the Delta blues, using the music to carry the message into the future.
I see.
You remember what the OJ was singing in the 70s? There is a message in our music.
Wow.
They was telling us, programming that generation of the youth that's hearing their parents' favorite songs playing, they not really paying attention to the song, so it's going straight to the subconscious.
Mm. And what about Orlando Brown? Sister Janine said Orlando Brown is one as well.
I don't know enough about him,
Okay.
but he be using crazy horse energy sometimes, and sometimes he use like another energy, but I'm not really sure about who he is. I haven't did my investigation on him.
Okay.
But normally, like
Yeah.
Kanye be telling the truth, but he's doing it in the crazy horse frequency.
Mm.
So when we be saying Ye is right, that's because he's telling you the truth. He ain't lying. The problem is he crazy. He's batshit crazy. That's perfect execution of crazy horse energy,
Mm.
right? Remember, they didn't used to want Kanye to rap. They just wanted him to make beats, but you couldn't shut him up.
Okay.
He had to be his own person.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he is. We can only stay in somebody else's house until we learn to stand on our own. And then we don't want to be in your house no more. We thank you for it. Appreciate the time you let me sleep on your couch. I don't mind. I'm glad that I had somewhere to sleep. Even though I was in your living room under the table, I don't care. But now I got my own.
Right.
If you need me, holler. I'm here for you.
And the family here in the chat, they are going ham. They are really enjoying you, Chief. Family, in order to express your gratitude, we thank you so much for saying you appreciate him. I would ask that you also send him a donation, please. He's not asking for this. I'm asking for it. If you could send our Chief a donation via Cash App at $SIK8, $SIKAPE, or if you don't have Cash App and you desire to support our Chief by PayPal, you can find him at SIK801, SIKAPE01. Now, I came from a church background. First, I grew up Muslim under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And then, by the way, I appreciate all the things I learned under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, how women ought to behave, how you're supposed to be respectful. We were taught a marriage culture, all that, eat to live. And then my mom transitioned into church. And we were taught that tribal leaders, community leaders that spend their time giving truth or liberating the people, they should be taken care of. And that's why I believe in supporting, people that come, especially you, come on. So I hope this is okay with you, but I would ask that our soul tribe, if they can, bless our Chief with a Cash App, a $SIKAPE or PayPal. And I'll put it in the chat as well. All right, Chief, back in your hands.
In our culture, the priests never had to ask for a donation. But we didn't have to solicit because the people knew who we was, and they knew that we was working for the universe, and they knew that reciprocity and gratitude, right? Reciprocity cycles the energy.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude expand the bandwidth.
Mm.
There's so many people that's ungrateful. If a person gave me, remember them milk bed lollipops we used to get at the doctors?
Yes. Yes.
It won't be no different as if they gave me a Cadillac. I'm gonna be the same amount of grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Is that everybody can't give you the same thing. Because everybody needs is not the same.
That's right.
So whatever somebody send you, that's opening up the cycle in the energy. Reciprocity. And widening the bandwidth is my gratitude. So when it comes back, it can expand.
Absolutely. Chief, I have a question for you. You know, you said earlier that we taking our stuff back. What is Donald Trump's role in this? You know, I get sometimes I get some backlash like, why are you supporting this white dude? He's not doing anything for us. And I'm like, I'm looking at all the stuff he's doing for us. I'm grateful. You know, but so what is his role in all of this, returning things back over to us?
He is literally our own personal butt dancing cracker.
Okay.
I can't say it no other way.
Okay.
They try to do everything else to make him out to be other than what he is. Okay, well, all that's good. But as long as we getting it all back, they can say what they want to say about him. I don't care nothing about him one way or the other.
Okay.
I'm not into politics. I be watching. Only reason I watch him because every time I read the sign say something supposed to be done, I look up and he's signing the paper to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the hell is he matching the frequency this to the letter? Right? Remember, one of the first shows we did together, I said the BRICS nations was damning the dollar to die at home.
Yeah.
Now they got the dollar damn back to America. They got to switch to, if they don't switch to a substantive back currency in place of the fiat, it'll totally collapse the system to an irreparable medium. It'll be in a state that it won't be able to fix it. But if they switch it to a substance-backed system, and then you turn it into a feedback loop where you're giving the people wealth instead of taking people's wealth,
Yes.
then all of that energy they stole from us, they sending it back. See, you gotta remember, we have mineral rights under the UNDRIP and under the American Declaration of the Rights of Indigenous People. Both of them is stating that if we know who we are, we have territorial rights, land rights, and we have mineral rights. Tribal traditions say anything approximately 3 feet or deeper under the earth has to be broke up with the local community where it was extracted from before it can benefit anybody outside the community. The mining companies sent from foreign nations was taking our wealth, or came over to take our wealth. So the condition is called the warlock. Under the warlock, they can't take our wealth. So the second thing they can do, because Big Mama closed our bank, that's the warlock. Once Big Mama closed her bank, now they can't use God's money. They have to make man's money. In order to play their monopoly game, they need monopoly credits.
Okay.
So they give you what's called a fiat. It's not backed by the wealth, but we use in the illusion of it being backed by the wealth in order to generate the potential for it to have value.
But Chief, I was just looking this up just this morning. Who were the CEOs of certain mining companies? None of them look like us.
No. But just because they're the CEO don't mean they're the stakeholder.
Okay.
It's a lot of tribes that have stake in major corporations that we don't even know about.
Okay.
They're not in the stakeholders.
Okay.
So the stakeholders got the final say if the executive board, CEO, president, vice president, CFO, if they're not doing their job, they can get fired.
Okay. Okay.
Think about that. Who would fire him if he's the CEO?
Right.
Now remember, Trump just put a arrest warrant out and arrested the chairman of the Fed.
Okay.
Who's going to replace him as the CEO?
Right.
Yeah, remember, Alan Greenspan had that position for a ridiculous amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
But right in the 90s, he seen something coming. He was like, I'm out of here. Right. I think they had Alan Greenspan all the way up to like 2002. Somewhere around up in there.
Okay.
Early 2000. Yeah, but they come over and adjust the interest rate. Every time they adjust the interest rate, they adjusting how much money they stealing.
Oh, wow.
It's fractional reserve banking. If you don't know how fractional reserve banking works, you won't know how the theft of the wealth of the people is being stolen. This is why they got you taking taxes on one side and inflation on the other side, and you left with the crimes in the middle. Every time they raise the interest rate, it decreases the value of the currency. Every time the value of the currency gets decreased, people have to raise the price of the product. I remember a loaf of bread was a quarter.
Yeah.
People were like, a loaf of bread for a quarter? $4 a loaf now.
Or more. Yeah.
And not only was it a quarter, if you went to the bakery, you got it for 15 cents, and it was fresh.
It was fresh. Yes, sir. Warm.
Now they got to chemically keep it fresh.
Yeah.
With stuff that's toxic to the body in order to sell the product on the shelf for 30 days.
Now, did I understand you correctly? I'm almost sure I did hear you say that the financial system is turning over tomorrow.
Supposed to.
Supposed to the gold back system.
Yep.
Oh, yes. Well, we do know that states have already reclaimed silver and gold as money. They're issuing out gold backs now.
That was announced at the financial meeting they just had over in Switzerland.
Davos?
Yeah, in Davos. They were talking about it at Davos.
Okay.
Yeah, and after they got done at Davos, I'm going to show you this, because you might want to share it.
Hit the like button as you come in, family. I see we almost have 1,500 people in the chat, and there's probably more that I cannot see. Thank you so much for supporting our Chief Pontiac, also known as Chief Rod Hayes. Thank you for your questions. We see you asking the questions in the chat. We'll get to your questions shortly. For those of you that are sending him a Cash App blessing, thank you so much. His Cash App is $SAKAPE, SAKAPE. Thank you. And those who are sending him PayPal, thank you so much at SIKAPE01. Oh, I see you sending me something right now.
That's a 3-minute clip.
Okay.
And then one of them over 15 seconds, or one of them is 30 seconds.
Okay. Let me see. I'm going to send it over to my email. Yep. And while I do this, Chief, can you, this is about you send me something about the money system?
Mm-hmm.
Can you briefly explain, if you have any idea, what's going on with Trump saying he's going to have a golden dome?
It's a military defense system, but it's already there. Do you remember he went back to, we've been talking about this for this many years.
Okay.
And under Ronald Reagan, it was called Operation Star Wars.
I remember hearing about that, Operation Star Wars.
Right. Okay. It was a satellite defense system to defend us against foreign and domestic enemies and extraterrestrial threats.
Oh.
And you gotta remember, in Greenland, there is a very critical ancient site. It's like the Pineal Gland Turtle Island.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a Stargate.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's right there. It's right there in Arctic. I mean, in Greenland. It's always been there. It's nothing new. Some people refer to it as the Black Rock, but the Black Rock is actually in Alaska, the Black Pyramid of Alaska.
Okay. Because some people felt a little uncomfortable about there being any type of dome, although I feel like there's a dome already.
It's already there.
Okay.
All he's trying to do is, okay, if you look at everything he was addressing, is what they call in the Western Hemisphere. The Western Hemisphere was the last incursion of the people who was trying to conquer the world. So we was the last ones, so we was the ones that got to finish the fight. Right? So now, in order for us to get it all back, this is why he told them, just because you landed a ship there 500 years ago, don't mean you own it.
Right.
Just because you crashed your Plymouth, your Mayflower in the harbor outside D.C., don't make you own America.
Ooh, come on.
They came over here and pretended to be in need and struggling and played on our sympathy. And I don't got none for them. That was my mom and them. My mom and them had sympathy. I don't got no sympathy for them because I know what their agenda is. So go.
Woo.
I don't care if they leave the planet. Get the hell out of here. They go wherever they want to go. They just got to leave here. And a lot of them look like us. And a lot of them that's going to stay don't look like us.
Okay. Now, how do they know? Go ahead.
They know everybody, who everybody is, and they've been tracking everybody. That's why people be feeling like they getting gang stalked, because they being watched.
See.
You somebody important, and they watching your ass. COINTELPRO don't work if they don't know who we are. They watching us come in from birth charts.
I remember the old people used to say, don't tell everybody your birthday. I remember that, or your sign.
Yep. Because they watching us come in on specific days. And certain ones of us, certain birthdays, when like Chicago area, the COINTELPRO papers, when they came out, had 450 names of, back then they was kids. That was potential threats.
Wow.
But you got to know what kind of threat they was. According to the COINTELPRO papers, their mission was to stop the rise of any potential messiah who could incite the masses and unify the black nationalist groups. That's what they say. And they got 400 kids on here. How they know where to find these kids? How do they know to have Larry Hoover, Joe Ford, Mickey Caldwell, Benny Lee? Well, they babies. 14, 12, 13, 15. They watching them in elementary. They know their birthday and they're watching them in elementary. From kindergarten on, they know that one ain't right there, ain't like the rest of these. He gonna be stand out. The only thing they can do is to distract the standout with an alternative to warfare. So they oversaturate them with arts and entertainment, with sports.
Yeah.
You put the Warriors in athletics so that you can give them the outlet for their warring rage. We did do that. That's how the tribes used to maintain peace among tribes, by competitions.
Okay.
Right? Unlike the Romans, where they was having naked wrestling contests, we was over here having ball games, board games, right? Gymnastic type stuff. Our babies still do it. I got little cousins teach themselves how to. They don't even call it gymnastics; they call it flipping. Hey, Uncle Ryan, watch me flip. What kind of flipping you gonna do? I'm gonna do a flip flop, no. What the heck is that? Just watch. And then when they look at their little friends, the cousins be, when they start flipping, they be like, look at him, flip flop, no, flip flop, no. They be like, what the hell? But that's them. That's our culture, been in our culture ever since we've been here.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna never stop being us. Don't care how many legislations they institute. I don't care how many organizations they establish to try to train us to be other than ourselves. What religion they bring us next? Because we got one rule: either make it your own or leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Elijah Muhammad, Nation of Islam, Islamic doctrine don't look like Sunni Islam, Islamic doctrine. He's not trying to be an Arab over here.
Mm.
He's trying to teach and remind y'all the structure of tribes,
Okay.
right? The tribes got a function, a purpose. We all work together, but we don't all do the same thing all the time the same way.
Mm.
Because we understand that everybody ain't supposed to fight the war the same way. You can't win. They just didn't have an answer for me in my weird perception. How I see stuff.
Chief, I tried to download these videos when I went to my, I'm looking at them now, when I went to my email, and what does it say? It says you need a new code. Checking code availability. You need a new code to play this item. Codes help the apps read and play different files, and all three of them do that. So I'm trying to, and they're saying in order to get a new code, I have to pay. I can hear it. I can hear the video, but I can't see it. Do you want me?
No, don't worry about it.
Okay.
But back 7 days ago, Trump posted government shutdown in 5 days. S&P 500 daily chart for January the 31st, and then you saw the S&P 500 plummet.
Is that on your page, Chief? Because if I can bring it up if it's on your page.
It was in my story. I don't think I posted it on my page.
Okay.
But there's some stuff on my page about the financial reset and all that.
Okay.
Team technology. And it interfaces with your DNA, the real med being. It interfaces with your DNA. And it goes over your whole life, and wherever your health, it's going to break it down into mental health, spiritual health, and physical health. If the place where you was at your best physical condition wasn't where you was at your best mental condition, it's going to align those. So it might turn your body back to 40, but it might turn your mind back to 55. But then it might turn your spiritual self back to 6. Because that was when you was at your spiritual peak.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's a frequency machine. It's just designed to read your base DNA program and optimize everything. It's like fixing the computer on a car. The car run like crap, the none of the sensors read right, but as soon as you fix the glitch in the computer itself, you clear up all of those other problems. We used to deal with the body as a regular engine. We didn't realize that the body was really an engine with a computer module that monitor all kind of sensors we call chakras. And each sensor is supposed to relay certain information to the whole of the organism. When we're doing this process, understanding how it works is called epigenetics.
Epigenetics, okay.
Right? Now, once you understand the epigenetics, then that's when you start understanding that I'm not really here. I'm somewhere else, being projected here. Then it brings to mind that, wait a minute, if I'm somewhere else being projected here, this got to be a holographic universe.
All right now. Okay.
Okay, so now we're talking Michael Talbot. So if it's a holographic universe, you need to see a north, to south orbital body that can be synced with the east west orbital body
Okay.
in order to project the holographic projection in the minds of everybody going experiencing the hologram. The Dark Knight satellite was in the same northwest at the same degrees as the moon go east to west. The Dark Knight satellite go north to south.
Okay.
You got a north-south or a polar orbit. The moon has an equatorial orbit. Together, they give us a holographic projection. So I had to play with AI for a minute, and I ended up having AI explain how it worked. You
Okay.
understand too?
Yes. Yeah. If we're not here, where are we?
If we inside of the hologram, there's
Yes.
no explanation for anything that's outside the hologram. Because
Okay.
everything we explained has to be in the hologram to explain it. But when you're outside of the hologram, the only thing you're concerned with is did you feel while you was here?
Mm. And what is the purpose of being in this hologram?
It's a learning center. Same thing as an airplane simulator, spaceship simulator, boat simulator. It's a training program. It's to teach the God body how to maintain balance in the realm of opposites. And the purpose of that is when you are no longer a physical body, human being, and you're your own star, you won't have to worry about collapsing into a dwarf or going supernova because you found your balance as a human. So now you can take in and put out energy at a 1-to-1 ratio, zero loss, right? Which is a perpetual energy system. Your entropy don't exist because your entropy is the same as your gain. Your loss is the same as your gain. It's a perpetual balance. So we come into the body as humans, so it don't take trillions of years. It just take the lifespan, a couple lifespans as humans to learn how to maintain the permanent balance. And then you see less supernovas in the universes. See less collapsing to dwarf stars. Because all we are energy.
Yeah.
The greatest expression of energy in any star system is the star at the center.
Okay.
So when we realize that and we say, okay, we all come from a different zodiac, the ray of light that's coming here from that zodiac is, and the stardust it picks up becomes you.
Wow.
That's how they know how to read your zodiac sign.
Let's see.
Because the energy that comes in by second, minute, hour, day, week, month, year. And then once you realize that, then you can say, oh, this person won't be back for 62,000 years.
Whew.
This one won't be back for 14,000 years. But when they come back, they're going to be impactful because of the duration that they was gone. Right? And those are normally the teachers in the university. University Earth.
Shame says that's why they call the world a university, because we're in school, universe. We're in school.
Yeah.
Wow. Or university. University. Oh wow.
That school is a later term, a latter term.
Okay.
It's not an original term for education. University is the older term.
Okay.
Right. And if you notice, most people that separate, they don't call them schools no more. They call them universities or centers. Right? Because the word school, when you do etymology on the word school, you don't want to send your child there no way.
Oh. Okay.
Look, school is the English word or a place where you send your children to learn and be educated, right?
Yes.
The root word is shul, Shool, which is a Yiddish word,
Oh, yeah.
right? The
Okay.
Yiddish word came from the Hebrew word, which transliterates into English as Sheol, shell.
Okay. Chill. Yeah.
Sheol translates literally directly in English as hell or the abode of darkness, the dismal abyss.
Whoa. Whoa. Thank you. Wow.
So we've been sending our babies to hell all this time and wonder why they act like devils.
And you know, before we started, I was just telling you that I had taken my grandchildren out, and you saw my grandson. He was like, he just didn't like the energy there.
Yeah.
In school.
They know the new generation is coming in now. They know that the way the system is designed to suppress their energy.
Mm.
It's literally to arrest their development, right? It's to retard all of their senses.
Mm.
When we think the word retarded is a vulgar word, it just means to slow down,
Okay.
right? And they call people retarded because they couldn't keep up with what we call regular people or average people.
Mm-hmm.
So they was referred to as retarded. Then it became a misnomer for people with Down syndrome.
Yes, because when I was younger, they retarded wasn't a bad word. It just meant that your development was arrested, or like you said, like you were slowed down. But then through all this rhetoric, through propaganda, it became known as something you can't say. Mm.
That's everybody now is trying to be politically correct.
Absolutely.
And I keep telling you, there's no way possible you can be politically correct when the politics fucked up.
Ooh, I know that's right.
You can't be politically correct when the politics is incorrect.
Mm.
And everybody that's trying to be politically correct when the politics are politically incorrect, those are agents in the system, whether they know it or don't. Those are your Mr. Smiths.
Oh.
They the ones enforcing the codes to keep you asleep. But they don't know it all the time. A lot of the people that luring people in the paperwork, they know it don't really work. Like they tell us it worked. It only worked for slave catchers. It don't work for people that's slaves. It don't free the slaves. It converts slaves that become weird into slave catchers.
Mm.
It's called the paper chain for a reason.
Okay.
And it's tying you to what? It's tying you to a ship. Whether it's a relationship called a marriage license, which is a business merger, whether it is a mentorship, which is a relationship, which is a business merger, everything is about merging business. That's why everything about money now.
Okay.
And that's why we got to get back to the base metals, because it takes away the greed. Because the alchemical quality of gold is the great balancer. If I give you a $50 gold piece for a $49 object, don't worry about the dollar. The gold is going to balance the value out. It's going to return whatever that other dollar is. It's going to make sure that when my next batch of gold come in, I got $10 extra for no reason. It's the nature of gold.
Speaking of gold, I'm sorry.
Yeah, gold is the balancer.
Okay.
The kings were supposed to trade in gold, and the queens were supposed to trade in silver. That's why the mother line is the silver line, the father line is the gold line.
What? And we're returning back to that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, when they got rid of the understanding of the women's position on the planet, then they said that the silver was the money of the gentleman.
They sure did.
They said that the money of kings. The gold is the currency of kings. Silver is the currency of gentlemen. But really, what it is the gold comes with coal.
Okay.
The coal is the black stone, the stone the builders rejected.
Mm.
They has to go through the forge in order to come out the other side a diamond. That means that he got to be subject to time, temperature, and pressure to see if he'll break. Coal under time, temperature, and pressure produces the diamond, and this is why you have a diamond on the gold band as a wedding ring, because it shows that the man has been forged from the coal into the diamond.
Mm.
I mean, he didn't live through the struggles of life, and now he's so valuable. He's represented as the diamond, and he's allowed to utilize the gold as his currency as he moves through life, right? And then the silver, that's big mama money, is the coal and the gold. The silver is the bartering of the mothers playing bridge in the attic at the bridge club, right? And they making and wheeling and dealing, and they the ones arranging all of the arranged marriages. Man's job ain't to get involved in that shit. He got wars to fight. He got resources to develop, right? The women do all of the political wheeling and dealing.
Mm.
That's what the matriarchy did. That's why they don't want the matriarchy.
Okay.
Because the rule standard, the baseline for matriarchy is if you looking to hire a person for a job, they got to be the best person for the job.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
They can't leave the job until they either train a replacement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they find somebody that's equally or greater competence. You can't hire a person that's less competent than you to replace you.
Okay.
So you got to train them up. So you might start off with a father that's a plumber, but by the time you get to his great grandson, he's a plumber. He's he tilled a farm. He a carpenter. He know how to go hunting, because he got it all from all the different people that pass it along to him to enhance his skill set. Under the patriarchy, on the other hand, it's a dick swinging contest.
Okay.
It's bravado.
Mm-hmm.
It's aggression.
Yeah.
It's disregard for other people's condition and situation in order to impose your will upon them. That's not the same as matriarchy. Into the matriarchy, it's two questions asked before we do a major developmental work. How is it going to affect the children, and how is it going to affect the earth? That's what the women want to know. Because if it's not going to be harmful to the children or the earth, they're green lighted.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But if it's going to be harmful to either one of them, like, I don't want no parts of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's the difference in the mentality of the two systems.
Okay.
In the patriarchy, because the women hold mineral rights, the men can freely trade in the wealth that they don't get from the women.
Mm.
And this is what the fiat system is predicated on. So they come in to impose their will. The matriarchy don't impose their will. They support the will of the collective. It's a foundation versus a capstone.
Okay.
And the smartest thing for the one who wants the capstone to last long is to build a strong foundation by giving it all back. Now you can be the capstone with the all-seeing eye.
And I've heard you say we are returning to the matriarchy.
You have
Right.
to. Yeah, that was part of the transfer of power back to the tribes.
Okay.
Matriarchal government. The tribal mothers, so one of these political figures is going to call them to Florida to restore the tribal, some kind of, they're going to tell you it's something tribal. And they're going to ask for the tribal mother. All tribes are send their tribal mothers. So it's going to look like the Million Women March all over again.
Wow. Okay.
whatever one of these military, political, I don't know whose job it is. I don't care. As long as they get it back, I don't care.
You don't care, right?
I don't care who. I don't care who got to do the job. As long as the job get done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I don't focus on what Donald Trump ICE. ICE is on the land. ISIS is on the land. They telling you. They're telling you in two different ways. The weather is telling you nature. Mother Nature said ICE is on the land. That's the deep freeze. The government said, wait a minute, we got to put ice on the land because ISIS is on the land. That means the Great Mother is present. The Queen of the North.
Are you saying ISIS?
Yeah, from the land of the ice giants.
Okay.
There's our codes, our Masonic codes.
Let's see.
And remember, all of those intelligence groups, CIA, MI5, KGB, I forgot what they call it now, Mossad, whatever they is in China, all over the world, they use Masonic code to relay information in everybody's face. They can use Masonic code and they'll tell you the story of a beautiful young puppy that was rescued by a 2-year-old hanging out the window in a snowstorm. It don't got nothing to do with none of that.
Wow.
But if you know how to read the codes, you will see the code be in the message. You're like, oh, yeah. And that's why a lot of people be like, oh, he didn't always tell the truth because everything ain't always true.
Mm-hmm.
But just because it ain't true, I mean, it don't got some of the truth in it.
Right.
Right? So you have to dig in there and be like, okay, now what do they mean by this stuff? Right? So they use number codes, gematria, and numerology. They use them in tandem. Everybody else keep using gematria, but they need numerology to translate the gematria.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Or you will just be coming up with what's called common figures for certain terms. You don't know what they mean, though.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We know that when they come out with a Q flip, right? Or if you see the number 177, that's QG, that's a GQ flip. Gentleman's quarterly. It's a quarterly flip.
Okay.
It's all in the magazines. Right? The word magazine is a whole code. Just listen to it.
Magazine. Magazine.
The magazine is the magazine.
Okay.
So we just gonna name it George for now. It's codes everywhere.
Everywhere.
But what the problem is that most of this shit that's in front of us is old tribal shit reworked into modern society, and if we don't know the old ways, we'll never figure it out.
Okay.
And you know, I used to get mad because my mom used to keep me up on all these old ass people. When I say old, I'm 6. They like 66.
Okay.
And up. But they was all telling me stuff that became like the foundation to cracking the tribal codes that was being spoken. They was all telling me little different stuff. From my grandfather's friends to my big mama and her friends. I don't understand why I'm the only little 6-7-year-old boy in a room full of old ladies.
Right.
All these ladies old enough to be my mama's mom. They've been passing me around for the first 6-7 years of my life. I remember being in the blanket and looking up, and all I see is these old ladies looking down at me. I can still remember some of them saying stuff to my mom about, oh, yeah, Shirley, he the one he sure looked like he that one I thought he was gonna be. I don't know what they talk about. I haven't learned to grasp the language as an Iron Baby. Well, I remember what they were saying. And some of them old ladies, I thought they was weird. because they got to touch certain parts of the body to determine if you defective or not. Some of them used to massage the legs, some of them would massage the arms, some of them would rub the back.
Mm-hmm.
But they got a different thing to determine if you defective. Everybody tried don't have the same standard. So you got different big mamas looking for different stuff. Is its feet straight? What the fuck you mean is its feet straight? He can walk. That don't mean his feet straight though. I gotta see if his feet straight. Why does all everyone know if my feet straight? I don't know. But in the tribe that she come from, it's a title of high rank and nobility to have straight feet.
And that might be why when young people were getting married, sometimes the elders would ask certain questions like, you know, what's this bloodline? Where'd they come from? Let me see you walk. What is it? I don't like the speech. They would just look at little things and, critique you to see if you were fit for their bloodline.
Yeah, because everybody's not compatible. Everybody not compatible. Some people not gonna never have no babies together, and they try till they die. They're not gonna never be able to do it because they're not compatible.
Mm-hmm. That goes back to that whole romantic love you were talking about. We want to get married because we're romantically in love, but you're not.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, that's all an illusion. Yeah. Romantic love is it's one stage of union.
Okay.
When you arrange a marriage, romantic love don't come for almost 10 years later. But you be already burnt off the lust demon. You be already learn how to work together, everything, and then you feel that fire kick you in 5-10 years later.
Right.
Because you done burnt all of the BS off. We living in the BS instead of burning it off now.
Come on, preach.
We living in it. It's just the lifestyle now. I don't knock nobody for how they live. I do know this. A lot of them females that sleep around is collecting DNA so she can fix DNA helixes in future children.
Okay.
So how else is she gonna do it? Now remember, nature was doing this shit for humans was. You used to have specific women that was part of the Yoni priestess, and you knew who she was because she got 15 husbands in the same house. But they all there for a reason, though. They all learning something.
Yeah.
And she's not going to keep man one of them longer than he need to be kept. But normally, those are the ones with lack of discipline, lack of organizational senses, abusive, overly aggressive, and then she used to him to keep him in line. If you look at the domestic violence situation, right?
Yes.
If the average dude in the domestic violence situation, if you put him in a situation where he got to deal with, if you put your hands on this woman, you got 15 dudes you finna fight right now. Not in 5 minutes, right now. He gonna be more cautious about, even if you don't have to be scared. If people think you gotta be scared for it to work, no, you don't have to be scared. Right? He might win every time, but by the time he get done winning, he be so tired he gotta lay down for a week. And she got to take care of it.
Oh.
See how that worked? It was women whose job it was to train those, what they call them, breaking them. I don't call it breaking them. To teach them how to control themselves.
Wow.
Because lack of self-control is one of the worst things an adult male can have. If he can't control himself, he can't control his situation. Your self-control is directly proportionate to how far you can succeed, because it's how far you can hold the reins. If you can't control your temper, you're going to burn your kingdom down sooner or later.
Oh, wow.
The fiery temper will definitely burn the king's kingdom down. It ain't a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Because eventually he gonna make the wrong enemy. And normally the wrong enemy is the calm, reserved, patient individual that he disrespected and shitted on.
Ooh.
And they just sitting there watching him. And he look like he doing all his best shining, and he don't know he's lighting his own wick to his own explosive demise.
Mm.
And that's why we used to, if you read Lord Chesterfield letters to his son, when it came time for him to teach his son about women,
Yes.
he sent you to a brothel.
Mm. Okay.
And his instructor was a madam at a brothel.
Okay.
So he sent him to the source of the knowledge.
Interesting.
When it was time for him to learn how to be a statesman, he sent him to be mentored by an experienced statesman, his father's senior. So it's like your father said, okay, you cool around here, I'm going to take you over to my uncle's house and let me see how you do around his people. Right? So it was structured. How do you know who if it's 150 guys that's the prince, how do you know which one's going to be the king? Who's going to put in the most work?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the one that is the most just to the people? Right? He might be picked by his mama, but it don't mean that the rest of the mamas of the other prince going to pick him over their own.
Right.
But they got to, if they saying fucked up and they know it, because if they pick the wrong one, they get kicked out the harem. To be kicked out the harem is to be put out to pasture like an old cow. You isolated from the kingdom. You live in the yurt in the middle of nowhere. It take people 3 days to get to see you and 3 days to get home from visiting. That's how far in the middle of nowhere you is. And then you learn your lesson. And you never know, you might get your son killed in the process.
Wow.
So they don't want to go through those. The wise ones, they be like, nah, I'm going to pick the right one. So they pick the prince. He going to be the king.
Speaking of the king, once the United States Incorporated is completely dismantled, which it probably is already, we're moving. I think I heard you say to the republic, and then after we move to the republic, then to tribal law. Is that how it's going to work?
The republic was ran on tribal law.
Okay.
That's why it took us from under the republic. It was the law of the land. And we call it the common law.
Okay.
Using legalese. It's called the common law or public law. If you go and you look at any legislation, it might be United States Code, this, but it don't really apply if it don't have the public laws derived from.
Okay.
It got to be derived from a public law to be applicable. They call that being constitutionally compatible. Right? The Constitution was only temporary. It wasn't supposed to be a forever document.
Oh. Okay.
The Constitution is a two-part document. We're thinking it's one. You can't separate the Constitution from the Declaration of Independence. It's a continuation of the same process. From the Declaration of Independence and in the Constitution, they told you when the government stopped doing the stuff that we told them in this paperwork they're supposed to do. It is your duty, not your motherfucking luxury. It's your duty. Your obligation. This is what you have to do. Overthrow the mother. How do you overthrow it?
How?
Country is established on treaty law.
Okay.
They never honored the treaty. That mean they was operating in fraud. That mean they never intended to honor the treaty. So that means even the fact that they came to the table under the presumption of good faith in negotiating the treaty, they knew at the time of the treaty that they wasn't going to honor the treaty. And the only way that you can come to this conclusion is if they honored more treaties than they dishonored. When it comes to the tribes, most of us don't have treaties with them anyway.
Okay. Oh, okay.
The Constitution was never supposed to cross the Appalachian Mountains. It had nothing to do with the rest of the country. It had nothing to do with Canada. Canada is not separate from us. I'm like, why would we even think that? They got the same QSIP number. So it's saying, yeah, you can go to GM Hamtramck, but don't go to GM Orion. If I work for GM, I work for fucking GM.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's just a separate. The lines of demarcation now, what they call militarized zones. If you notice, they don't have states in Canada; they got provinces.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because a state is a condition. You have been in a steady state. People don't live in steady states. They live in a perpetual state of fluctuation. Back and forth. They move around.
Right. Right.
Right? So the state is the militarized zones. And then they build up each militarized zone to its own system.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, I'm having some complications with the intro, man. They be tripping. But welcome back. You know what I'm saying? We got the master teacher, the elder, back with us, and we're going to be breaking down the metaphysical dynamics when you're talking about the rabbit hole, because it all corresponds with the geopolitical apparatus and the cosmological timeline that also corresponds with our genetic format. So we finna break it down tonight. We finna crack some codes. So everybody in the chat, welcome back to Elder, Rod Hayes. So everybody in the chat, put the rice bowls and put those apes in the chat. Yeah, we got a lot to discuss tonight. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff that's going on. Where you want to start at? You got all these geomagnetic energies coming to the planet. You got Elon Musk talking about the rabbit hole and how the rabbit is out the hat. You got all the stuff that's taking place with the penny that's out of circulation. There's a lot of shit going on. So where we finna start at tonight? You know what I'm saying?
Well, the first thing we got to make mention of is the internet was like all out early in the morning in multiple places. People were reporting internet outages.
Facts. Yep.
When they do stuff like that, that's a tester to see what the reaction gonna be, right? And they judge by the flow of the algorithm what the reaction gonna be.
Okay.
Right. When I did a Young Elder the other day, we was talking about the green aura that was around the earth for that returning love energy, right? Then the earth was vibrating at the heart chakra. When we got done with that class, the next day it was violet, crown chakra.
Yep.
Right? So we hit the nail on the head, because when you go from the heart chakra straight to the crown chakra, that's what you call the heart link to the heavens.
Facts.
So then we got the sun got a big old butterfly symbol in it, looked like a reverse Batman symbol.
Yep.
Right? Butterfly is the symbol for transformation. So they're telling us that there's a transformation in progress based off the recent solar activity. Remember, we was getting blasted by solar storms last week, and the shooting resin been off the chain. And this is why we're seeing these color shifts in the Aurora Borealis. Fucking pronounce it correctly. I always butcher it. But the lights, the northern lights, was being seen in southern states in the United States, which is rare. Which means it's a large mass coronal interference in the Van Allen belt, right? And it's the gamma rays that turn it green, right? And then it's the ultra, I think it's called ultra gamma rays that goes into your purples and reds, right? But we talking now, we not root chakra, we heart chakra, crown chakra. So we got a lot of stuff going on, and now we got to unpack what is it telling us. Because the whole thing is about, we see these stellar events, solar events, we see the Schumann resonance events, we see this political stuff playing out, and you know they always call a new field of study the rabbit hole.
Yep.
And our first introduction to the rabbit hole in most people's childhood is Alice in Wonderland.
That's a fact. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put something up for you.
So Alice sat on the mushroom, sipping.
That's a fact.
Right? When she seen the white rabbit, she took her down into the rabbit hole, which was her adventures of Alice in Wonderland. Wonderland is another way of saying your subconscious realm.
That's a fact.
Because the psilocybin opens up the subconscious realm so that you can consciously process it. That's why they call it hallucinations.
And then, not only that, the rabbit in itself is also a representation. When you get into the esoterics, the rabbit hole can be associated with Ophiuchus. So that's when you get into, the number 67. They talk about the number 67 is pretty much the most intrinsic definition in all throughout the year of 2025, because it's the resurrection of the 13. So when you go down the rabbit hole, you're actually connected to yourself to the womb of creation, which is also associated with Ophiuchus, like I said, because I think Ophiuchus is in between November 29th into December 17th. So there's a resurrection and a rebirth energy here on the planet, and they telling you within the political infrastructure, because you ever seen that video when Donald Trump, he kept on talking about he's building the ark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the ark in itself is also a representation of the global turning point that's connected to Charlie Kirk, which is the fall of the church. So the royal ark in itself is a representation of a resurrection process, because it coincides with the 47 problem of Euclid. So the 47 in the ark coincides with Noah, right? So Noah, when you break down the word from the etymological standpoint in ancient Hebrew, it means the mind. Noah means mind, and then you got the arcs, or the angels of light, the angles of light coming down to the planet that hits the mind. So it's actually talking about a form of mind science technology when you get into the 47. And matter of fact, I'm gonna pull this up for you, because I remember we was on the phone the other day, and I was telling you about the movie Sneakers. This movie came out, I think it was in 1984, that also coincides with the timeline with Donald Trump, with Donnie Darko talking about the bunny, because in the movie, not the movie, but the book, Baron Trump's Adventure, he was stuck in a fixed position reality in 1984 when this movie came out. And then you see it got XRP when I was doing my independent research. And then it's at the security code, you see the 47 right here. That also coincides with the Royal Ark of Freemasonry, that also coincides with the global turning point. And then you also got to watch the damn movie. There's a reason why they put this movie back on Netflix, Ready Player One, because the inception of the destruction that took place when you're talking about the Great Purification, it started in the year of 2027. That's when the world ended in the movie. But it was certain dates they had from November, I think it was from November 17th to the 29th. It was something that took place within the movie that also coincides with the timeline that we're in right now. So that's why I keep telling people the movies is also acclimated to the timeline, because it's actually telling an esoteric story. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff to look at when it comes to that.
When you look at the position of Hollywood and DC on opposite sides of the land, it becomes critical to the understanding of what a political satire is. Most of us don't know that all they're doing in DC is political satire. That's right. That's why you see stuff like this.
Yep. This is the
This-
Burma guy. Yep.
Yeah. So this is telling you about the satire, because if you look here, you see Elon Musk is dressed like what?
A bunny
Jeff-
rabbit.
A jester.
Yep.
He dressed like a magician, a jester, a court entertainer,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then you see the molecular symbol for the bunny up there that comes from the adrenochrome,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Now the rabbit out the hat mean exposing the magic trick.
Facts. Babylonian
Right.
blood magic.
Yeah. So when they pull the rabbit out the hat, they saying this is the magic trick.
Mm.
So they showing you the trick, the deception.
And the deception is in itself is connected to, the de facto corporation in itself.